refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What up? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to Dave's Dawg House. I'm here to give you guys a live show and let you guys know who's going to be going into the Dawg House today, who's in the yard, and who's the big dog in the yard. Man, it's been a great week so far, a great few weeks in sports. And I'm here to give you guys an update on who I believe. Some of these are now within the last few weeks. This is just who I have on my list. And you let me know in the comments what you think about it. Do you think somebody else should be in the Dawg House? Who do you think belongs in the yard? And who do you think deserves to be the big dog in this scenario? Or who would you have chosen to be the big dog? You let me know in the comment section. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. I am live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. So you can follow me on all platforms, and that way you'll be able to see this and everywhere. Um, I'm loving the new background. Shout out to Joe for having some of the most elite editing skills. Man, it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day. As you can see, got the dog and the body in the background. So yeah, man, it's one thing. Hey, at least somebody's here. Ooh, I don't know. It says I got 28 people watch right now, so somebody watching something. So whoever that is, I appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and get started with the very first one. First, let me show you guys who is in the doghouse currently. Some of these teams will be removed soon, and some of these players. John Harbaugh is now the head coach for the New York Giants. So, hey, they do something nice, he'll be coming out. Josh Allen, he needs to have a good playoffs, something like that. CJ Stroud, I mean, this man just got his contract picked up, so you got that going for him. The Chicago Bulls, I mean, they missing the playoffs this year, so I can't really do much about that. And the Lakers, I mean, they went on a win streak, and then they got Luca and Austin Reeves hurt, so who knows what's going to happen to them in the playoffs. We'll see. The Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, they just continue to do some of the wrong things. I mean, Giannis is now was shut down for the season. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get started. This first one, very first one is what we call puppy child here. Now, are not deserving to be in the yard. Those are that are in the doghouse. So as we continue to move forward, let's see who's going to be in the yard this week. And my very first contestant, or should I say contestants, is not necessarily a team in baseball, but more so a part of this team in baseball. Some you have good pitching, good offense, good defense. Um, that a lot of things that contribute to winning. Pitching, um, hitting. Make sure that the right calls are being made. Challenging to use the ABS system, which has worked out tremendously for some teams, of course, and some players have not. Jazz Chisholm, sorry, but kind of got a little do a little bit better when you're challenging, my guy. Um, Jazz Chisholm today, or anyone on the Yankees, but this is a team that's in the AL East, and their bullpen has been putrid at best. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays bullpen has not been good to start the season off. Bottom tier in the major leagues. The bullpen ERA is +6 right now. 6+ more is it's a lot. It's not looking good for the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen. Ranked near the 29th. 29th. That's not good. That's not good at all. Um, about five is about five a 5.00 ERA in the last week or so. So, um, it's just it's not just that they're bad, but they're consistently putting games in danger late in the game, which is it's that's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for failure. Blow ups in games are it's costing them. Um, there were games where they were winning, and just because the bullpen melted down, it caused a loss, and it's just not looking good for the Tampa Bay Rays right now because the bullpen is just not good. And I get it because there are two major injuries right now in the bullpen with Garrett Cleavinger and Edwin Uceta. So we got um is you said you get it. I'm not sure. It charges to my head and my heart. But these two guys are out right now. Garrett is on the IL. And then they declined option on former closer Pete Fairbanks. So that was an off-season loss that they had this year. Um, Griffin Jacks, his ERA is over 22 early on. Engler, Gomez, those guys have also had rough outings. Um, and there could be some reasons to why this is happening. I believe that there's been an overuse and unstable roles in his bullpen. Like it's been some short starts in these bullpen games. Um, that can lead to a lot of fatigue and just unclear roles. So if the team is, I mean, if they're tired going out, if they're going out there tired and they're not necessarily sure exactly where they fit in the bullpen rotation, then it's just like you got to get some consistency there. Consistency is key. So what they got to do in order to fix it, I mean, obviously they got to get those two guys as an injured back healthy. So that's going to help a lot. They got to stabilize a closer role, call up or trade for fresh arms, and they just got to hope regression hits. Like they got to hope that this is just this that these ERAs are just inflated early right now. Because if that's not the case, then I mean I don't know. Like I said, if you had Pete Fairbanks, that's somebody you can rely on, but he's not there. Colin Post is someone you can rely on. Jason Adam, you can rely on him. But Griffin Jacks, John Connell, and Manuel, all three of those guys are just terrible right now. Um, Griffin Jacks has been completely unreliable, so maybe he just needs to be absolutely gone up out of there. Um, so it's just getting those two guys healthy will help out a lot. And right now it's only like two or three guys you can actually trust. I would say if you want to choose who the closer to be right now, I would say maybe Jason Adam. Um, like I said, because Fairbanks is not there. So Jason Adams really your best bet. So I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. But as I said, these guys are in the doghouse. So welcome to the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
This very next team, I know pretty well. For those of you who are just now tuning into my show and you're here for the first time, first of all, thank you. I appreciate you being here and seeing everything. But I am a Miami Heat fan, San Francisco 49ers, Duke Blue Devils in basketball, Miami Hurricanes in football, Boston Red Sox fan, and the Capitals for hockey. And when it comes to WNBA, I go for the Mystics. Those are all my teams. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's not. It's only two consistent teams in the same spot. Well, three. Eh, Yeah, whatever. Um, so those are the teams that I root for. Um, and right now, I'm not talking about baseball, even though the Red Sox do have a reason to be right here in the doghouse. So it's not them today. 49ers have had a pretty good offseason, and I'll be honest, I haven't paid much attention to hockey at the moment, but I say I have no emotion when it comes to this team, and it's been true. I haven't really been happy, haven't been sad. I just been honest, and to be honest, the Miami Heat they belong in the doghouse. Why I ever took them out, I don't know. Maybe I was just feeling good at the moment, but they belong in the doghouse. The Miami Heat just I don't know. There's been a lot of regular season inconsistency with this team. Like we're like top 10 in a lot of offensive stats, but it's the offense is not the issue. It's the defense, and that's what Heat culture was built on. Heat culture was built on defense, and it seems like that's the worst part of the team right now, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Like there are times when we have 20, sometimes 30-point leads, and we dwindle it down. Like I don't understand what's going on. You had the one game everybody talked about with Bam, what Bam keeps talking about. I don't understand why he keeps talking about it. Just let it go. The 83-point game against the Washington Wizards. And it's like, okay, that's a highlight in you know, for your life, of course. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But Spo, for one, he is just not consistent with his lineup sometimes. I really don't understand it. Um, I think Ware is the best option at center, but we continue to put Bam at center, knowing he plays a lot better at the power forward position, which is what he really is. To me, he's more of a point forward, not a point center. So that's kind of what you got going for him right now. Um, Bam has been the most durable guy on the team. He's been the most available as far as like the stars, but I mean, that could carry a lot. Tyler Hero, injuries, consistent, and then Norma Powell, consistent. But the thing is, the last 15 games we were 10-5, but that's because early on it was winning going on in that early on, and it hasn't been good as of recent. Um, those were a lot of front load wins. At one point recently, we lost 9 of the last 12 games. At one point, not in the last 15, but at one point we lost 9 of 12. That's not good. And I didn't even mention that this is the fourth, fourth straight season where we are in the play-in tournament. And Bam has said consistently this year that he's tired of being in the play-in. Bam, I'm telling you this right now. Ask for a trade. This ask for a trade or ask for Pat Riley or that front office to be changed around somehow. This needs to happen because Miami Heat basketball is this not it. This you cannot compete playing like this. and you're in the playing tournament again. There is no star power on this team. Bam Adebayo was probably the best player on this team with Tyler Hero right there at second. But you cannot win a championship with those two as your two best guys on a roster. It's just not going to work out that way. You have to do whatever you can to get a superstar next season. It has to happen because you're not going to win a championship like that. You can't even compete in the playoffs like that, let alone win a championship or compete for a championship. You're not going to win in the playoffs like this. It's just not going to happen. I mean, look, the last 2 years, you got bounced in the first round from being in the playoffs. Am I expecting this team to just be better this year? Even though the last 2 years have shown me without a superstar, you're going to get blown out in the first week in the first series, and it's not even guaranteed. All right, my mic is not working, so it's time to just do this without the mic. Mic keeps going in and out. So my thing is, why is Pat Riley and his front office still together? It hasn't proven to be successful within the last few years. And every time you hear a superstar name, Miami Heat name comes up, but Miami Heat doesn't either never has enough to get the star, or the team just doesn't want to work with the Miami Heat because of Pat Riley. There are even guys that said that they would rather not play for the team if Pat Riley's there. I get it. Heat culture got started because of Pat Riley. Pat Riley brought heat culture here. I appreciate you for that. And thank you. That heat culture got us three championships we've never had before you got here. I still remember the very first one in '06 with D Wade when he balled out in the finals, became finals MVP. I thank you. I appreciate that, Pat Riley. And you were the head coach at that time. So thank you. But come on. You haven't done anything since you got LeBron James and Chris Bosh here. Jimmy Butler was a nice piece, but Jimmy Butler is not a superstar. I'm sorry. As much as I've tried to defend that and tried to say that he's a superstar because of what he does in the playoffs, I mean, it's not enough. Something got to change. Till then, Miami Heat, you in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
Now, we talk about the dogs. The dogs of the week. These are the players or teams or sports people that actually have something great that they do within their respective sports or jobs. The very first contestant is a team that's gotten off to a hot start in Major League Baseball. A team that I thought was going to be good for I think the last 2 or 3 years, and it seems like it's all coming together now. It's still early on in the season, but it looks like it's coming on all together right now. And that team is the Cincinnati Reds. Um, Especially because most projection had them being a 500 team or worse when predictions came out for the Cincinnati Reds. They had they put a series win against the Pittsburgh Pirates and a road sweep of the Texas Rangers, which is a huge statement, man. I mean, the Rangers, we know the Rangers have been a good team for the last few years, and they were recently in the World Series within the last couple of years. So they're not just beating bad teams; they've had some legit wins in this start. Um, Chase Burns, Carla Phillips have stepped up big for the Cincinnati Reds, man. The bullpen has been having a lot of high velocity. Um, upper 90s in their pitching, and a lot of missed bats. The rotation was already expected to be a strength, and it's showing up right now. It's showing you that it's going to work. They won a lot of games with pitching depth and power arms. The offense is trending up, top five in exit velocity metrics. Um, you know, uh, Ellie De La Cruz, who's one of the fastest players. The only thing with Ellie is that he strikes out a lot. It's every year he strikes out a lot since he's gotten to the league. Um, Tyler Stevenson, Sal Stewart, young guy helping out on this team. Um, I mean, the results are still catching up, but you can see that this offense can be legit. Now they're not blowing teams out, but they're getting some clutch hits, which can help. The only thing with clutch hits is that it's that's not something that's always consistent throughout the season. So that's tough to come by. If they're able to do this, then that's something special. But history doesn't necessarily support that. So you got that going with them. They had that 2-1 win to complete the sweep versus Texas was huge. Winning close games early. When they added Eugenio Suarez, which helped bring in power. Um, that most projections had them around 78 or 79 wins. 78, yeah, 78 and 79 wins. So this is either real growth right now or just an early season spike. So that's kind of something that's like a little reality check right there that you got to look out for this team. So, but biggest thing is pitching, offense, and the young core has really been helping them out right now. Young pitching, improve contact quality, offers the offense. Um, this is it. The offense has to continue turning hard contacts into runs. So that's one thing that they need to sustain this, and the rotation got to stay healthy. I think one thing when it comes to sports, health is always a factor in whatever it is that you're doing, especially team sports. Um, Now, do I buy or sell in this? Um, I want to say slightly buy, like sort of buy a little bit here because there are some reasons to buy in because of the pitching foundation, the star upside. We know everyone knows who Ellie De La Cruz is, so that's something that can help out. And the the underlying hitting metrics can they can be encouraging, but however, as I just mentioned, clutch hitting is not easy to sustain. It's not something that can sustain for a long period of time. Um, they're winning a lot of close games early, so that could either be just an early spike thing going on right now. Um, those 1-2 run games can flip. That can easily go the other way. So that's one thing that can it can cause some caution in there, and it could be a reality check. The offense is still not proven right now, because they still have the Brewers and the Chicago Cubs in their division. So who knows what happens with them? I think at best this team can hang around the wild card with maybe like I don't know 80, 85 wins. So maybe they can hang around there and possibly be in the wild card race. But this is a hot start for them right now. So shout out to the Cincinnati Reds. You are dogs. Now, this very next team, as I move up to the another sport, I just talked about the Miami Heat. This team has been in the opposite direction, which is a good thing for them because this team used to be a consistent playing team. They traded away their best player to the Washington Wizards. and when it traded for a player who was disgruntled in Golden State. Signed Nikhil Alexander Walker in the offseason. They got CJ McCollum on the team. I mean, this team, you know about Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels. This team has a pretty good core, and I'm telling you, this team can do something. Now I just named some of the players, but oh, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are dogs, are also dogs of the week. Players like Luke Kennard, Corey Kispert, Gabe Vincent is on this team. Crazy. He was just with the Lakers not so long ago. Now he's with the Atlanta Hawks on a winning team in the East. I guess he just had to go somewhere else and just be a backup defense there. So you got him. Keaton Wallace. This is a pretty nice roster. You know, they still got Zachary Rishi. I think though you got to watch out for him what they do with him. He had a recent DNP. His minutes have definitely dwindled down since they went and got a Jonathan Kaminga. So he may be on his way out. I'm not sure. It could just be a philosophy thing. I don't know. Um, but watch out for that. It's possible he may be gone in the off season or something like that. I'm not sure. Um, and you know they got Jock Londale as well. But Jonathan Kaminga, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, those guys have been like the key four players on this team right now. Um, so they improved their offense tremendously. Um, they gained a lot of athleticism, defense, and versatility with going to get a Jonathan Kaminga and trading away a Trey Young, because this has been a Trey Young heavy team um, before he got traded. Like this is like Trey Young or bust. I mean, we do remember that they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Or they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals because they had beat the Philadelphia 76ers to reach there in the second round. And I mean, this team hasn't really sniffed the playoffs since then. Um, and now look, clinched the playoffs. Trey Young's been traded away, and we saw what the records were while he was there when he was out versus when he played. And this team was just better off without him. And they made the smart move, trade him to another place where he can have an opportunity to be the guy in Washington, and you know, kind of sort of be the vet there. They Washington also traded for Anthony Davis, so Anthony Davis is also now there. So you got those two guys going there. You got a couple other young stars there, Trey Johnson, who they drafted out of Texas this year. So you got him as well. It they got some a good young core there. Um, but the but the Hawks, you know, with Quinn Snyder, um, being there, I always liked him as a coach, even when he was with the Utah Jazz. So I think he's a pretty good coach, and it's helping out here. Transition offense has gotten better. The depth is better there. It's I think the only weakness is the half court scoring versus elite defenses and late game shot creation. That's probably the only two weaknesses I see on this team right now. Um, but it's worked out for them having these guys there. CJ McCollum, another come on vet guard there. He's been in the playoffs consistently in his career. He was with the of course known for being there with Portland and Damian Lillard. So you got that. Like this team has a lot of experience and they played really well to be able to clinch the playoffs. So shout out to the Hawks. Okay, now as I remove that and I go to the big dog, this is the best of the best for what they have been able to produce. and what they've been able to do, or he or she, whoever I choose for that time. But this is a them. This is a team, of course, and they are your 2026 national champions in basketball, the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan Wolverines, people, are the big dogs. They had a dominant tournament run from start to finish. Peaked at the perfect time in March, and I know this was something that Carl was afraid of, especially after Duke had lost to UConn. That he didn't think that there was a team that would be able to beat them. And Carl's a Michigan State guy, so you can understand that. He's also Mr. CTC because if you're watching my channel right now, he's also a part of the Refuse to Lose network. So make sure you go watch his show. Carl Talking College. He does college basketball and college football. So make sure you tune in to CTC. The guy knows his stuff, and he's the hardest working guy within the network. So trust me, he knows he's prepared for every single show, whether he's a guest on someone else's platform or he's talking about himself. Shout out to Carl. They had elite defense in the Final Four and title game. Balanced scoring. It wasn't just one star dependent. It was multiple guys that helped out there. Had a huge statement win against Arizona, which showed that they can beat an elite offensive team. So, they, like I said, they got hot at the right time. They had enough depth and defense to survive every style of opponent. Of course, like I said, they didn't they didn't play against any guys um, that were, they didn't play against Duke. So that was something that, some people may put an asterisk on because they didn't play against Duke. And the last time they played Duke, they lost that game. So, I mean, that's the thing. They beat UConn 69-63 in the championship game. Um, I mean, like you said, the highest scorer had 19 points, and that was Elliot Cadeau, who has, I mean, he's been one of their best players. Yasso Lindenborg, who's an NBA prospect. They said that this guy could, go within like the first 20 picks, of course. So he averaged 15 and 7 in the season, shooting 51.5% from the field. Michigan is one of the few teams that I can remember that have won a national championship in football in recent memory and won a national championship in basketball. Um, there are other teams that have done it. I'm not saying it hasn't been done, but of recency, because Michigan won a national championship with Jim Harbaugh as the head coach just 2-3 seasons ago, and now this season won the national championship in basketball. So shout out to the big dog, Michigan. You guys let me know in the comment section if you think someone else should have been in the doghouse. Was I right with the doghouse? Did I get it wrong? Who else should have been dogs of the week? Um, if you believe that the dogs of the week deserve to be there. And same thing for Michigan. Do you think that they deserve to be the big dog of the week? And who do you think should have been the big dog of the week? So, like I said, thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to today's Doghouse. I can't wait to see you guys again. More likely, I'll be live again either later this week or next Sunday. So let's have hope you all have a great Sunday. Enjoy. Have fun, family time, and see you guys next time. Peace out.